Welcome to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast, a podcast for high-achieving women who are great at making money but struggle to build wealth. You'll learn how to take control of your money, increase your net worth, and make more. Ladies, it's time to create a life with more money and more freedom. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I hope you all are having a fabulous day. And I'm so excited about our topic. So today we're going to talk about the number one reason to set financial goals. You probably have never heard this before, so stay tuned. I'm really going to break it down for you, and it's really going to help you on your journey to achieving any financial goal you set for yourself. Speaking of financial goals, I want to remind you to register for the Ultimate 2024 Money Planning Workshop, where we will be setting financial goals for 2024. We're going to do that together. And I'm excited to let you know that I added a day. So the workshop is going to happen on Tuesday, January 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as Saturday, January 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you get to choose the time that works for you. Both will offer a replay. So everyone who signs up for the workshop will get a replay. If you sign up for the one happening on January 2nd, you will get that replay emailed to you within 24 to 48 hours. And if you sign up for the one that's happening on January 6th, you will get that replay sent to you 24 to 48 hours after the recording is over. Okay? So I'm super excited. Make sure you go ahead and register. You can go to the show notes right now and register, or you can go to jermainefoley.com/2024. That's Jermaine with a G. And here's what we're going to cover. I'm going to show you how to give yourself a fresh start in 2024. This means that we are not going to drag all of our past money mistakes into 2024. I'm going to help you to be very future focused, okay? Now, we will take all of the lessons that we've learned in the past and we're going to apply them. We're definitely going to take all the lessons, but we're going to leave all that shame and guilt and all of the mindsets that got us what we got back in the past. We're going to leave those there and adopt new ones for the future. Okay. I'm also going to help you set goals that feel amazing to you. I want you to feel motivated, determined, committed when you walk away from that workshop. I want you to feel like unstoppable. I want you to feel like this is going to be fun. I'm so excited to do this. I'm so motivated to do this. I'm actually committed to do this. Okay? That is how you want to feel. You want to feel determined, committed, and like, you know what? This is going to be cool. This is going to be fun. I am ready. That is how I want you all to leave that workshop. So I'm going to help you to set goals that make you feel that way. I'm also going to share my process for actually achieving any goal that you set. Now, this is super important because we all know that many of us set New Year's resolutions and literally they never come to pass, right? And we fizzle out by the end of January. We don't even remember what our New Year's resolutions were. And that's not going to be the case this time. I'm going to show you how to actually reach your goal instead of giving up on it when obstacles occur. And that is really, really super important. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And I want you to think about it this way. When you're going to the grocery store or maybe you're going out of town, wherever you're going, if there's a detour in your way, you do not give up and go back home. You don't stop the car, put it in reverse, and go back home just because you hit an obstacle. But we do that so many times when it comes to our financial goals. And I want to help you to not do that. And so I'm going to give you a process for how that works so that when you hit an obstacle, you just keep moving. Even if it takes you a little longer to get to your destination, it's okay. Just like if you were going to the grocery store or anywhere else, if you hit a detour or a stop sign or a red light, you don't get frustrated and give up. You just wait. You keep going until you get to the grocery store or until you get to that destination. And that is what I want to help you to do when it comes to your financial goal. So go ahead and get registered. right in the show notes, you can register. You can pick the date of January 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's on a Tuesday. Or you can pick Saturday, January 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is, again, on a Saturday. Or you can go to www.jermainefoley.com/2024. And remember, that's Jermaine with a G. All right, let's get into our topic for today. So today we're going to talk about, like I said, the number one reason to set financial goals. Most people set goals because they think achieving the goal will make them feel a certain way. They will feel happy once they get there. They will feel intelligent. They will feel secure. They will feel adequate. They will feel powerful. And the truth is that achieving a goal can't really make you feel anything. If you hit a goal or not, that is a circumstance. And circumstances that happen in our lives don't have the ability to make us feel anything. So circumstances that happen outside of us do not have the ability to jump into our bodies and make us feel an emotion. I know that it's hard to believe, but I hear it all the time. I'll feel happy when, insert circumstance. I'll feel secure when, insert circumstance. I'll feel good enough or worthy when I accomplish this goal. The truth is, your feelings do not come from those circumstances alone, right? What actually happens is the circumstances happen and they trigger you to think a thought. And that thought is what makes you feel an emotion. Okay. And sometimes when those circumstances happen, like when we hit those goals, the feeling is actually very anticlimactic because we've been telling ourselves the entire time, we've been almost depriving ourselves of feeling happy or excited or proud of ourselves until we hit this goal. And when we actually hit the goal, sometimes we feel very different than what we thought we were going to feel. And so the experience is very anticlimactic. So I want to offer to you that you do not have to wait for a goal to be achieved in order to feel a certain way. And let me give you an example. So my husband and I had the opportunity to build our dream home. I absolutely love this home. And the entire time we were building it, I was like, I can't wait to get there. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to feel so luxurious. I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to be so happy to live in this home, to live in this neighborhood. So I was just putting off the feeling of feeling luxurious and feeling motivated and feeling worthy until I got to this place, to this home, right? So it took us about a year to build the house. And once it was done, I was like, okay, yes, now I get to feel amazing, right? But it was so anticlimactic for me. I actually felt guilt and shame once the house was built. Once it was time to move in, I felt horrible because the house in itself didn't have the ability to make me feel anything. It's my thoughts about the house that made me feel an emotion. And for me, my brain offered these kinds of thoughts, and it threw me for a loop. You don't belong here. Who do you think you are? This neighborhood isn't for you. All of those kinds of thoughts. And those thoughts actually made me feel very guilty and ashamed. And it was like a horrible, horrible experience for me for like a couple of weeks or so. Now, looking back, what was actually happening was that I was outside my comfort zone. And remember, your brain wants you to be in a comfort zone. It wants you to stay within your comfort zone. And my comfort zone was living in a nice neighborhood with a 1,500 square foot house. That was my comfort zone. It was safe. It was nice. It was, middle class. But what I did was I moved to an upper middle class home and moved into a 3,000 square foot house or more. I can't even remember how big it is. But it was like I was outside of my comfort zone and my brain was having a fit. Like, what are you doing? This is not us. And I had to really expand my comfort zone. So I had to do work on that. And we're not going to get too far into that today. But I wanted to just share with you what was really happening. And this is just a great illustration that reaching a goal cannot make you feel anything. It's your thoughts about that circumstance or that goal that makes you feel emotions. And my brain offered me, you're not good enough. You don't belong here. Who do you think you are? And so it was very anticlimactic for me. Now, another person could have moved into this house who may have had different programming and was like, yeah, I love this house. I deserve to be here. This is exactly for me. They could have had a whole different experience and they could have felt the emotions of being excited and happy and grateful. And now I'm happy to report that I worked through all of that and now I feel gratitude. I love living here. I know that I deserve it. There's nothing on this earth that's too good for me. I belong wherever I want to be. And I'm offering these thoughts to you too. Like wherever you want to be, you belong. Whatever you desire is available to you. There's nothing on this earth that's too good for you. But I had to do that work. And so this is just a great, like I said, illustration to show you that reaching a goal or attaining an achievement, those things in itself cannot make you feel anything. It's the thoughts that you choose to think. And sometimes those thoughts are not chosen. Like mine were definitely not chosen. They were on default and I had to take control of those thoughts and manage my mind around it. Okay. You get to do the same thing. You get to feel however you want to feel even before you reach your goals. Right? I want to offer that to you right now, that you do not have to delay your feelings of happiness, your feelings of security, your feelings of worthiness, your feelings of belonging, your feelings of intelligence or enoughness. You get to just decide right now that I'm going to be happy while I achieve my goals. I'm going to feel smart and intelligent while I achieve my goals. I'm going to feel adequate and worthy on the journey to achieving my goals. I don't have to wait until I get there. And honestly, sometimes if you do wait until you get there, you experience what I experience. Now, if I would have done that work ahead of time and knew that I belong in this neighborhood, I'm good enough, this is for me, then when I would have arrived, it would have been a no-brainer. I wouldn't have had all of those thoughts. But I didn't do that work because honestly, I didn't even know I needed to do that work. And that is why it's so important to be setting goals and to be stretching yourself and to dream and go after those dreams. My dream of this house I had it for years, because once you do get there, once you do start to take action towards it, it brings up all the stuff that was buried inside of you and it allows you to work on it. Okay. And so I became someone different just by building up my dream house. I became someone who now knows that she belongs anywhere she wants to be and that she's good enough for any circumstance, for any material thing. So if we don't have to reach our goals in order to feel good or in order to feel better, if we can feel happy right where we are, if we can feel worthy with the circumstances we already have, if we can be happy with the life that we already have, then what's the point of setting a goal? Such a good question, isn't it? So I'm going to tell you right now what it is. The number one reason to set and achieve financial goals is because of who you will become on the journey. Think about my house situation. I was a person who didn't even know she didn't feel she belonged certain places. She felt that certain things was too good for her. I didn't even know that stuff was there. But setting a big goal and doing something that was way outside of my comfort zone, all of that stuff came up to the surface and I was able to work on it. And now I'm the person who thinks she belongs anywhere she wants to be. I now know that no material thing is too good for me. I now know that I am worthy and adequate to sit with and be with and to be neighbors with anybody, right? And so that is why we set goals, so that we can become the next highest version of ourselves, so that we can evolve, so that we can work on ourselves. And honestly, I never knew that was going to happen. But I had this nudge, I had this desire to live in a beautiful home. And so I went on the journey and that's what happened. Same thing happened to me when I was getting out of debt. So many of you know that I paid off over $200,000 worth of debt. And I just wanted to be done with all the stress and the worry when it came to my finances. But who I became on the journey, like I am now a financial coach. I now help women change their lives. Like I became someone so different on that journey. I had never even dreamed that would happen. I just did it for my sanity. But because I listened to that desire and I went on that journey, now look at me now. And the same is for you, okay? So when we do not have goals, our lives are typically the same year after year with minor, incremental, positive or negative changes, but nothing significant. It's just stagnant without much growth. Having a goal gives your brain direction that takes you outside of your comfort zone. Now, having a money goal not only gives your brain direction, but it also gives your money direction. Because the issue is when we do not give our money direction, it disappears. And that is why we always ask, or we always wonder, I hear it all the time, where did all my money go? Especially at the beginning of the year when we get our W-2 tax returns and we see how much money we made for the year and we're like, what the heck? What happened to all of this money? It's because you didn't give it any direction. It's because you didn't have intentions regarding your money. So it just evaporated. It disappeared. We humans are designed to grow, to evolve, and to become the next highest version of ourselves. And this process is endless. That's how God created us. And that's why sometimes you could look at people, like I look at Oprah. At the time of this recording, she's doing a lot of promoting of the color purple. And I look at her like this woman could literally just sit and do nothing for the rest of her life and she will be good. But she doesn't, because she's got purpose, because she allows herself to dream, because she listens to her desire, because she's living life to the fullest. And that is what God wants for us. He wants us to not only just have life, but have it more abundantly. Okay? So we were designed to grow. And the way we grow is through our desires, through our dreams. So when you have a nudge to do something, do it. And it could be in any area of your life. For the purposes of this podcast, this is a money podcast. It's called the Wealthy Woman's Podcast. So our goals are going to be financial goals. They're going to be money goals. But you could have goals in regards to your health, to your wealth, in regards to your relationships, and also your self-actualization, your purpose, who you want to become. You can also have career goals. There are just so many kinds of goals that you can have. You can start a business. There's just so many of them. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And pick one at a time that you're really going to focus on. And here's the beautiful thing. Once you go all in on one goal and you achieve it, you get to take everything you learned and apply it to the next goal. So let's say you had some financial goals and then you decided to focus on your health and then maybe your relationships. All of those things you learn from your money, you get to apply to the health. And then all the lessons you learn from your money goal, achieving your money goal and achieving your health goal, you get to apply to your relationship goals and so on, because you've become someone different and you get to apply all of that knowledge, all of that wisdom to it. So for instance, go back to my house goal. Now I get to apply the fact that I belong anywhere I want to be when I set big travel goals and I want to stay in luxurious places or fly first class. In the past, I wouldn't have even dreamed of doing those things because I deep down didn't feel like I belonged or I was good enough. But now I get to take the learnings from building my home and working on myself and knowing that I deserve anything I desire. And I'm a human being made in God's image. So there's nothing on earth that's too good for me. I get to apply that to other things that I want to do and to my business and where I want to go and what I want to accomplish in life. And so when we don't have goals and we're not going after them, that's why sometimes we feel stuck or unfulfilled. Goals as you already can probably tell, are the perfect way to stretch yourself, to grow and evolve, to step outside your comfort zone and to work on yourself. And sometimes we don't even know what we need to work on until we set big goals, until we get outside our comfort zone. Because when we're in our comfort zone, nothing really phases us because we're comfortable. We're like in our caves and we are good. But when we decide to grow and stretch, then it's like, oh, now I'm in uncharted territory. And so all of the things that are kind of dormant inside of you, all of the mindsets that are dormant inside of you come up and you get to work on them. So the number one reason to set financial goals is to evolve into a wealthier version of yourself. And I believe that if you're listening to this podcast, you have that desire. And not only to grow your money and your net worth, but to expand your life, to experience life more abundantly. Because when you have your money under control and when you're building wealth and when you have more money, you get to experience life on a different level. Like the way Oprah experiences life is so different from how I experience life. And part of that is because of her wealth, right? And so as you grow into a wealthier version of yourself, then you get to experience life on a different level. You get to expand your experience of life. You can go from a woman who is always stressed out about money to a woman who feels peaceful about her financial situation. You can go from a woman who overspends to someone who spends intentionally and who has money and has wealth and is not spending all her wealth away. You can go from being a woman who can't save for the life of her to someone who actually loves saving because she loves taking care of herself now and in the future, right? You can go from a person who says they don't know how to invest to a confident investor because you no longer tell yourself that you can't do something because everything, as Marie Forleo says, is figure-outable. You can figure out how to do anything. But you have to go from a person who tells yourself you don't know or you can't to someone who knows you can figure anything out. You could go from being a woman who's stuck in debt to being debt-free because you're no longer spending money to make yourself feel better because you know that that's an inside job and you don't need to go into debt to give yourself quick hits of dopamine through impulse spending. Because that is not your money's job. It's not your money's job to make you feel better. That's your job. And so you become that woman who knows how to manage her mind and to feel good on the inside. And she doesn't need to spend and overspend and go into debt in order to make herself feel better temporarily. You go from a woman who is under earning to someone who confidently earns more because you know that there is an unlimited amount of money that you can actually earn. And so you stop telling yourself that you should just be grateful for what you have and just stay put to a woman who knows that there's an infinite amount of money in the world and you can be grateful for what you have and still want more. You can become a woman who's totally in control of her money instead of someone who's out of control. Instead of someone who tells themselves that they don't know what they're doing. And you tell yourself, no, I know what I'm doing. I can figure anything out. I can change my habits. You can also go from feeling stuck financially to feeling free and liberated with your money because you know you have plenty of it and that more is coming. Finally, you can go from thinking that you're bad with money to knowing that you have greatness on the inside of you and that you can be great with money as well. So, setting and achieving financial goals lead you to becoming the person that you want to be, the wealthier version of yourself. And that is always evolving. Okay? So if you are listening to this podcast, you probably have the desire to be wealthier, to have more money, to increase your net worth, to experience life more abundantly. So here's what I believe deep, deep, deep down in my heart. That if in this time and space, you have the ability to desire something, that if a desire has been born within you, then you also have the ability to achieve it. So if you have the desire, if you have that nudge or a dream to be wealthier, to get your money under control, to be debt free, to have a certain amount of money, or to have a certain level of net worth, that is 100% available to you. And the reason why we know this is because you desire it. If it wasn't possible for you, you wouldn't even have the ability to desire it. I believe this to my core. And so I always have to remind myself of this because sometimes I have doubts. Often I have doubts. And I have to remind myself, well, Jermaine, if you have the desire, if that desire was born within you, then the ability to make it happen is also within you. And I always like to use the analogy of I don't have the desire to slam dunk a basketball. And I probably don't have that desire because it may not be possible for me to do. But I do have this desire right here, whatever it is. So I know that that is possible for me, and I want to give that to you as well. If you have the ability to dream something, to desire something, then you have the ability to make it a reality. So stop telling yourself that you can't. And remember, doubt is normal, and all doubt is your primitive brain trying to keep you in your comfort zone. But everything you ever wanted is outside of your comfort zone, and you're invited to take some steps out of it with me. So go ahead, listen to that nudge, listen to that dream, listen to that desire, and set one financial goal at a time. And let it grow you, let it evolve you. And then once you hit that goal, set another one, and then another one. And this is how it's done. And I'd love, love, love to help you set that first financial goal inside of the Ultimate 2024 Money Planning Workshop. Remember, you have 2 dates to choose from. The first one is January 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the second one is January 6th, which is a Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. When you sign up, it's $37. When you sign up, you get to pick the time that works best for you. And remember, everyone who signs up will get the replay so that you can watch it over and over again, so that you can use it, so that it will help you stay on track throughout the year. Okay? I hope to see you there. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to create a life with more money and more freedom, then you're invited to join the Wealthy Woman's Academy, my signature coaching program where you'll learn how to take control of your money and build wealth without sacrificing your lifestyle. To get started, head on over to jermainefoley.com/WWA. That's Jermaine with a G. See you over there. Bye-bye.